The backyard was a dream, strung with fairy lights that twinkled like stars against the dusk. My vows to Emily, my high school sweetheart, were halfway out when Karen's nasal screech sliced through the air. "This is an unapproved event." She stood there, all 300 pounds of her, floral muumuu flapping like a warning flag. Her face twisted in that signature HOA sneer, half righteous fury, half gleeful malice. Karen McAllister, the self-appointed queen of our sleepy suburban cul-de-sac, had crashed my wedding with her two sisters in tow, each a carbon copy of her smug disdain. They called themselves the HOA Karen Sisters, and they'd been terrorizing the neighborhood for years, armed with clipboards and a vendetta against anything remotely fun. Tonight, they'd set their sights on us. Emily's hand trembled in mine, her white dress catching the glow of the lanterns. Our guests' 30 close friends and family froze in their folding chairs, jaws dropping as Karen's sisters, Linda and Barb, fanned out like henchmen. Linda, the wiry one with a perm stuck in the 80s, waved a crumpled HOA rulebook. Barb, a mirror of Karen's bulk, was already filming on her phone, muttering about evidence for the board. "You can't just throw a party without approval," Karen barked, her chins wobbling as she jabbed a finger at our makeshift Altara wooden arch draped in wildflowers. "This is a violation of Section 3, Clause 12. No gatherings over 20 people without a permit." I felt my blood boil. This wasn't just a party. This was our wedding planned for months, kept small to avoid trouble, tucked quietly in our own backyard. We'd saved every penny to make it happen, from the thrifted lace tablecloths to the playlist I'd spent weeks curating. And now, here was Karen, turning our sacred moment into her personal crusade. "Karen, this is private property," I said, stepping forward, my voice steady despite the rage bubbling inside. "You have no right to be here." Her eyes narrowed, lips curling into a smirk. "Oh, honey, I'm the HOA president. I have every right. You think you can sneak this past me?" I saw those tacky lights from my kitchen window. Emily's mom, a soft-spoken woman who'd baked our wedding cake, stood up, her voice shaking. "Please, this is their day. Can't you just let them have this?" Linda snorted, flipping open her rulebook. "Rules are rules, ma'am. You can't just do whatever you want. This is a community." Barb, still filming, chimed in. "We're protecting property values. This noise, this chaos, it's unacceptable." Chaos. The only chaos was them. Our guests were whispering now, some angry, some embarrassed for us. My best man, Jake, a burly guy who'd known me since we were kids, started toward Karen, but I held up a hand. I didn't want this escalating, not yet. "Karen, you're trespassing," I said, louder now, hoping to reason with her. "Leave, or I'm calling the police." She laughed, a sharp, grating cackle that echoed across the yard. "Go ahead. They'll back us up. You're the ones breaking the law." Emily squeezed my hand, her eyes pleading. "Tom, let's just finish the vows. Ignore them." But Karen wasn't done. She stormed closer, her sisters trailing like a pack of hyenas. "You think you're special?" she spat. "You millennials with your DIY weddings and your disrespect for authority? I've been running this neighborhood for 15 years. I decide what happens here." That's when it hit me. This wasn't just about rules. This was personal. Karen had never liked us too young, too artsy, too unwilling to bow to her petty power trips. Last month, she'd fined us for leaving a potted plant on our porch, unsightly clutter. The month before, she'd complained about our dog's barking. He's a dachshund who yips once a day. This wedding was her chance to flex her control, to ruin something beautiful just because she could. I pulled out my phone, dialing 911 as Karen ranted on. "Yes, hi, we have trespassers at our wedding," I said, loud enough for her to hear. Her face reddened, but she didn't back down. "You'll regret this," she shrieked, snatching a glass of lemonade from a nearby table and hurling it to the ground. The glass shattered, splashing sticky liquid across Emily's dress. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Emily's eyes welled up, but she bit her lip, refusing to give Karen the satisfaction of tears. "Enough," Jake roared, stepping between us and the sisters. "Get out, or I'll drag you out myself. Linda clutched her pearls literally while Barb shoved her phone in Jake's face, still recording. Assault, she screamed. That's assault. We're pressing charges. The absurdity of it all would have been funny if it wasn't so infuriating. These women had barged into our private moment, disrupted our vows, and now they were playing the victims? I glanced at Emily, her face pale but resolute. We weren't going to let them win. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. Karen's smirk faltered for the first time. You called the cops? She said, her voice losing some of its bravado. Yep, I said, crossing my arms. And I'm guessing they won't take kindly to you trespassing, harassing us, and destroying property. The police arrived minutes later, 2 officers, one tall and grizzled, the other younger with a no-nonsense stare. The guests parted as they approached, their boots crunching on the grass. Karen immediately launched into her spiel, waving her arms like a dictator giving a speech. Officers, thank God you're here, she cried. This is an illegal gathering. They didn't file for a permit. They're disturbing the peace. The older officer, whose badge read Sergeant Carter, raised an eyebrow. Ma'am, are you the homeowner? No, but I'm the HOA president. Karen said, puffing out her chest. I represent the community. Sergeant Carter exchanged a look with his partner. And you're here because? They're breaking the rules. Linda cut in, thrusting her rulebook forward. Section 3, Clause 12. The younger officer, Officer Reyes, turned to me. Sir, is this your property? Yes, I said. This is our wedding. They weren't invited. They're trespassing and causing a scene. Emily stepped forward, her voice steady despite the lemonade stain on her dress. They threw a glass and ruined our moment. Please, we just want to finish our ceremony. Sergeant Carter's face softened as he looked at Emily, then hardened as he turned to Karen. Ma'am, you and your friends need to leave. Now. Karen's jaw dropped. Excuse me? We're protecting the neighborhood. You're on private property, disrupting a private event, Reyes said, his tone clipped. That's trespassing. And throwing that glass. That's vandalism. Barb, still clutching her phone, stammered. But we have rights. Not here. You don't, Carter said. He pulled out a pair of handcuffs, and the crowd gasped again. You've got 2 choices. Leave now, or we arrest you for trespassing and disorderly conduct. Karen's face turned purple. This is outrageous. I'll sue. I'll have your badges. That was the wrong move. Carter sighed, clearly done with her theatrics. Hands behind your back, ma'am. The next few minutes were a blur. Karen screeched as Carter cuffed her, her sisters protesting as Reyes escorted them toward the patrol car. Barb's phone clattered to the ground, still recording, capturing her own downfall. Linda tried to run but tripped over a garden hose, landing in a heap with a yelp. The guests erupted in applause, some even cheering as the sisters were led away. As the police car's lights faded into the distance, Emily and I turned back to the altar. The officiant, a family friend who'd been stunned silent, cleared his throat. Shall we continue? The crowd laughed, the tension breaking like a wave. Emily took my hands again, her smile brighter than the fairy lights. Let's do this, she whispered. We finished our vows under the stars, every word carrying the weight of what we'd just overcome. The guests clapped, cried, and toasted to our future. Karen and her sisters? They spent the night in a holding cell, charged with trespassing and vandalism. Rumor has it, the HOA board stripped Karen of her presidency the next week after the video Barb's own footage went viral on the neighborhood group chat. Sometimes, the universe delivers justice in the sweetest way. For us, it was the moment we said, I do, knowing the Karens of the world couldn't touch us anymore. For them, it was the bitter sting of their own arrogance, handcuffed and hauled away while our love shone brighter than ever. The end.